tell y'all, you know what? I'm not even gonna let that negative energy like seep in. So today, right? I bought a book on my iPhone on the Apple Book app. It's a book called what's it called again? Um, The Mountain Is You. Um, Pretty much it's about like self-sabotaging behavior because I feel like I'm someone who I self-sabotage myself a lot of the times. Um, the book so far, I just read it. I just bought it like maybe like in like the early afternoon. It's like 10 p.m. now, and I'm like 40, 50 pages in, and it's a pretty good book, easy to read. Um, the formatting is nice. I like the way the book is formatted. Um, and yeah, just like reading it, and as I'm reading it, I'm getting all these ideas like, oh, like, okay, I can see where like this for me, like I can see like where this topic relates to me, or like certain things that I've done in the past, how it makes sense with the context of the book. And let's be honest, right? And I'll be honest, I don't think the book is telling me anything brand new. You know what I mean? I feel like cuz I'm not sure if it's me, if it's just me, but like I've done so much like searching on the web about, self-love, self-help books. I wouldn't say I'm like a self-help geek. Like, to be honest, I've never really bought any self-help books. I mostly like watch YouTube videos about, attachment styles, um, anxiety, stuff like that, ADHD. I mostly watch YouTube videos about that. But pretty much like the book isn't telling me anything new, but I think, I feel like on like a video, right? Which is why, like, even if you watch something, I still recommend like you grab a book sometimes and sit down and read, because like when you read, I feel like reading really is like a more engaging way of like um digesting content, whether it's entertainment or informative or persuasive. I feel like because when reading forces you to think about like the words on the page, like you have to paint your own picture. Or watching a YouTube video or a movie, like it's a moving picture. Everything's already made for you. You don't have to use too much of your imagination for a movie. If you have to use your imagination for a movie, like, well, like at least for like the setting and stuff like that. There's always like what's it called? Reading in between the lines, so like the narrative. But like the action movie itself, like a good movie or good video should like provide you with all the information you need, so you don't need to use your imagination. But reading a book, it allows you to actually like fill in the blank with like your own, what's going on in your own head. So I've been thinking like reading is probably like a better thing for your day to day, like reading certain things day to day, because you can like really like as you're reading it. And yeah, obviously if you're just like not like I guess like not really reading, you're just like looking at the words. Okay, it says here that, okay, put it down, and that might not work. But if you actually like take the time to slowly read, like for me, I whisper read like out, like I whisper while I read the words, so like I know that like I'm actually like focusing on each word, each sentence, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm liking it so far. Let me think what's like something like, all right, like chapter 3 of the book is about like your emotions when the emotions you might feel when you're self-sabotaging. And like one of them was like or not regret, resentfulness. This is just they were just she was listing like a bunch of like different emotions. So obviously, right, there was like anger, embarrassment, regret, and each one of them I probably had like, if I had some, maybe not all of them, but certain ones like resonated with me more than others at the time, as of right now, as of today. But like one of them that resonated with me right now was resentment, because like earlier in the month, like cause like me and some coworkers, we wanted to plan like a trip to like a different country, and I was like really down, cause like that's like low key like a big like that country that we were like talking about. Mind you, we kind of talked about this like on like off of drinks. The first time we talked about it, we were drinking, but like my coworker, like even after like we the next day, they were talking about, oh, do you still want to go? I'm like, wait, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. I was like, hell yeah, because like, bro, I've been meaning to go this place for years, you know what I mean? Like, I want to travel, I want to see the world and all that. But things that are said one night may not always stick in the morning, because like it was 3 of us, and like the coworker that asked me again the next day, like, were you serious? I mean, she seemed like she was on go, or they seemed like they were on go for it. But like my other coworker, they now, oh well, I'm doing this at this time, this, like this. I'm just like, dude, why would you say that you were down though if you can't actually commit? And we weren't even talking about, and we didn't even have like a concrete like time sheet yet. I was just talking about this year, and like they were just it's pretty much the way they were talking, and it seemed like, oh, like, well, you know how people are, like, although like they'll make excuses, but the truth of the matter is they don't feel like doing it. They don't feel like pushing their schedule for this thing. So they want to take it easier, right? Oh, why don't we do this instead? Why don't we do that? And like obviously, like I'm kind of bummed out. I'm like, okay, well, where would you want to go? They're naming some places I don't like, and I'm naming some places. The places we're talking about aren't like, we're not really agreeing on places, and I'm just like, all right, bro. Like, you know what? Just wait. Let's just wait till like our third coworker comes in, the one that texts me saying like, let's go to this country, and like. I told her the situation, and she was, and obviously she's like, oh well, okay, maybe we can do this, even instead let's go to Disney World. I'm like, okay, Disney World, yeah, for our birthday. I'm like, okay, that's a close second, because I've never been to Disney World, and I've always wanted to be at Disney World. But then the second coworker again had like, oh well, like, I'm gonna be coming back from a trip then, and I'm thinking we should go like on our birthday, because our birthdays are pretty close. Like, no, we, like, me and the third coworker, we have the same birthday, which is like crazy, right? And I'm like, let's go for our birthday. And like, it's at a time, it's in May, and I feel like May is like, it's like before it gets too hot in the, like, especially in the East Coast, before it gets too hot. We live in Georgia, by the way, in Atlanta, and it gets hella hot here, man. It's so hot in Atlanta, bro. I hate heat, bro. So I'm like, okay, May would be good, but then my coworker is like, can y'all wait like 2 weeks, like into June, for us to go? I'm just like, bro, why do we have to keep accommodating, and like, so anyways, I like like I was kind of like, right. So anyway, by this point, I'm like annoyed, bro. I'm already like annoyed. I don't really even feel. I don't even care too much. Me and the third coworker, the one that shares the same birthday, we're like looking at Disney World tickets for like this like in June. And I'm just like, and I'm not feeling the enthusiasm from like either one, and specifically the second coworker, because I spent like a shift with them, and the third coworker came in like for their shift afterwards. So I already spent like the first half of the day with the second coworker, and they were kind of just annoying. Like, I don't know, they're like, I don't know. Sometimes they be doing the most. Like even outside of this, so I be like, they just keep bugging me. And I came to the initial conclusion, man, whatever, man. I'm just gonna go to Japan. Or yeah, I did say I'm not sure why I was hiding where we're going. What's Japan? I'm just gonna go on my own, man. I'll go to Japan on my own. Who cares? But the book had talked about like, so this certain paragraph in the book talks about resentment, and how resentment is a form of self-sabotage. It automatically, like, that's the first thing that already get in my head, like, oh, if like my coworker, like how I'm like deciding to plan a trip on Japan by myself, not to spite them, or low-key to spite them, because I'm like, in my head, right, I feel like if I don't push for this trip to happen, there ain't gonna be no trip. So like, I should just pivot to my own thing. So I guess it might be a little spiteful what I was doing, but I was like, but after reading that passage, I was like, man, yeah, I do see this pattern where sometimes, like, when people disappoint me, I usually get on my, all right, well, I'm gonna go on my own and do it my way type energy. I've done it in the past with friends too, like oh, if someone disappoints me, I just like, whatever, man, forget it. I'll go do this by myself. And it's not good, man. It's not good. I think sometimes, like, we want to do all these things by ourselves, but I mean, I think doing things with people, I think we live in a world nowadays, especially like in like the US, where like we're all very self-serving, individualistic. Like, we're all very individualistic, where like we feel like if someone's not serving us, like, just get rid of them. Like, if they're not serving you, get rid of them. If your boyfriend doesn't serve your purpose, get rid of you. If your girl's not serving your purpose, get rid of them. If your family members aren't serving your purpose, get rid of them. And I mean, to a certain extent, I understand where this is coming from, but it's not always a good thing, especially like when it's like coming from a place of resentfulness. You know what I mean? I understand if it's coming from a place of like just incompatibility, like okay, like your boyfriend and you really are just not compatible with each other. Y'all are moving to two different directions. Then yeah, I understand, having to like do things for your own sake, and no one should stop you from doing what you want. But in a case like this, I feel like I shouldn't. Going my own way isn't the right thing to do here. I don't think. I think I would have more fun if I traveled with like people, good company. You know what I mean? And look, as much as I was talking about like how like my second coworker, they annoy me, I do genuinely think they're like a decent person. I don't think they're shitty people. I think sometimes, like, it's work, you're not, like, I feel like everyone gets on people's nerves at work. I mean, most of the time, like, I feel like we're straight, but like, I feel like maybe sometimes they, I have, from my perspective, I'm less impatient with people, with my coworkers at work than I would be outside of work, cause like, I don't know. So I decided next time I see them, I'm gonna bring up the trip again. Gonna try to like find a compromise, see like if we can actually plan something else for like June. You know what I mean? Cause like, you know, I just feel like it's the better thing to do, and I feel like it would make me happier than just going to Japan by myself. Yeah. Yeah, man, that was my talk for today. But The Mountain Is You by, I don't know, something. Her last name starts with a B. Maybe next time I'll actually have like when I refer back to this book, because I'm probably gonna be reading it for like at least like the next week or a couple of days. If I remember, I'll try to. If I reference it again, I'll mention it. But yeah, good book so far. Overall, yeah, today was a chill day. Yeah. All right, deuces.